Good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So during yesterday's lecture, we have discussed regarding the syllabus with respect to the each unit, and we have seen some sample question types. Now let us start the actual syllabus by starting with unit number 1. So this is our usual practice. So again we are discussing about the syllabus, then the title of the chapter, assignment question, central idea, then again importance of the chapter in the subject syllabus, chapter objective, outcomes, and bit by bit notes. So instead of discussing these points, I will start directly. The syllabus already we have discussed. Then about the title of the chapter. So simple mechanism. So
विजय संपत नहीं चाहता.
hello. So please mute mic. I request all the students to mute their respective mics. Okay. So simple mechanism. So basically a machine is a device which receives energy and it transforms that energy into some useful work. So that is the definition of the machine. So again, it consists of various parts or bodies. So those parts may be in the, may work for as a link, and with respect to those parts we are going to study the mechanisms. So first of all we need to understand the meaning of kinematics. So what is the kinematics? So whenever study is related to the motion of two parts, then it comes under the kinematics. And whenever we are going to consider forces, then it becomes dynamics. So again, in simple words, static means study of forces when components at rest, and kinetics means study of forces when components are in motion. So whatever first chapter in theory of machine from R.S. Khurmi, these fundamentals are given in detail. You can read. Then with respect to this kinematics, first we can take one example about us only. So first we'll learn to crawl, then we learn to walk, and later on we learn to run. Whatever this crawling, walking, and running, these are the examples of motion and change in a position or change of the position. So with respect to this kinematics, these examples are having some significance. So that's why these are given at the start. So here you can see that in these motions, the distances, directions, rate of motion, time or duration of the motion. So whatever examples, that is crawling, then walking and the running. So crawling to some extent or to cover some distance. Again walking, we are going to cover more distance. Again by running, we are going to cover more and more distance. So these examples are concerned with the motion, are concerned with the time, and again it's a rate of the motion. So the same concern with the motion is true for change of position by mechanical device such as bicycle and automobile and the aeroplane. So by bicycle, how much distance is covered within how much time? Again by automobile, how much distance is covered again in how much time? And with respect to the aeroplane, how much distance is covered and the time. So whatever study, it is related to the motion and rate of the motion. So in nutshell, kinematics is the study of objects in motion, their velocity, their acceleration and their momentum. So this is the kinematic, where study of motion of objective, study of velocity of the object, study of acceleration of the object and momentum of the object. That is nothing but the kinematics. So now let us see what is kinematic link. So once again, see carefully this definition. Kinematics is the study of object in motion. It is related to their velocity, it is related to their acceleration and it is related to the momentum. Then let us study this kinematic link or element. So what is this kinematic link or the element? Again, in the previous slide we have seen what is kinematics. Based on this, each part of the machine which has relative motion with respect to other part of the machine is known as kinematic link or an element. So what we have seen, a machine which is a device which receives some energy as an input and that can be transferred into some useful work. So to transform one type of energy into some useful work, we require such kinematic links or the elements. So each part of a machine, suppose there is connecting rod and crank and the piston. So these three components are there. They are having some relative motion with respect to each other. So we can call this as a kinematic links or the element. So to transform energy into some useful work, we require to have the links or the elements, and each component of the machine which takes part in transforming one type of energy into other useful work, that is nothing but the element. Now, second point with respect to this kinematic link or the element, that is, link is not necessarily a rigid body, but it is a resistant body. But it is a resistant body. So, what is resistance body? So, body which transmit motion and force with negligible deformation, and that type of body is called as a resistant body. So whatever crank, whatever connecting rod, whatever piston that is known as kinematic link or the element, these elements, these machine parts are going to transmit motion and the force without deformation or with very negligible deformation. Then these are called as a resistant bodies. So one example with respect to this, belt subjected to tensile force and fluids when compressed act as a rigid body. So you can see I will show you the belt. Okay, so this is belt. So it is required to transmit motion from one wheel to another, or if it is mounted on one shaft, it is mounted on other shaft. This belt, whatever you are observing, it is subjected to tensile force. There will be negligible deformation. It can transmit the motion. So therefore, it is called as a resistant body. Again, fluids when compressed act as a rigid body. So again, I will show example. So this right side, right bottom, you can see the diagram. It is related to the master cylinder of the automobile. It is used in hydraulic braking system. Here fluid is provided, here fluid is provided, and this one is the reservoir. So whenever an operator pushes this plunger with the help of brake pedal, so whatever force that is applied to this plunger or the piston rod, that is transferred through the fluid, and the fluid is compressed and brakes are in action. So this is the fluid link. So this is also one of the example of the rigid bodies. Then types of kinematic links, you can see there are three types of kinematic link. First one, rigid link. Second one, flexible link. And third one, fluid link. So here, example of this Rigid link are the piston, connecting rod, crank. So this one is the connecting rod, this is the piston, and this is mounted. So whatever this big end, it is mounted on the crankshaft. So these are the examples of the rigid link. Then what is flexible link? Chains, belts, springs, etc. So this is the flexible link, but it is going to transmit the motion from one wheel to the another. Then what is fluid link? So fluid link, already I have told you, hydraulic press or hydraulic brakes. So again, if you want to have more clarity with respect to this rigid link, I will tell what is this rigid link. A rigid link is a link which does not undergo or which does not have any deformation while transmitting the motion. So this is the rigid link. There will not be any deformation while transmitting the motion. Then it is called as a rigid link. In general, such rigid links are not existing. Means, though it is rigid link, there is a deformation in micron. What we can say, such type of amount of deformation, we can call it as a negligible deformation. So as this is the connecting rod and the piston, whenever motion is transmitted, there will be deformation, but that is not appearing to the our naked eyes. So whenever we are going to observe such component, we are not identifying how much that component is going to be is having the deformation. So still we are going to call them as a rigid link. Somewhat deformation is there. Then next type, that is flexible link. Example, chain, belts and the spring. Here this is the belt, V belt, used to transmit the power from one shaft to the another shaft. It has some deformation or it has partly deformation, but that deformation doesn't have any influence on the transmission of the motion. So such belts, ropes, chains and in some cases wires are known as flexible links. Next one, that is fluid link. What is this fluid link? So again, fluid link is one which is formed by having fluid in a chamber, or we can say in simple manner a cylinder piston arrangement that require to transmit mechanical force into that hydraulic energy, and with the help of Pascal's law the pressure applied at one point is transferred to the desired point for a particular application. So motion is transmitted. So this is the third link, that is fluid link. Here motion is transmitted through the fluid by pressure or compression only. So examples of fluid link. So you can have hydraulic presses, then jacks, and the hydraulic brakes. So jacks which are used to lift the body of the truck or the vehicle, that is one example of the fluid link. Then brakes which are used to stop the vehicle, that is also another example of the fluid link. Their motion is transmitted through the pressure or in some cases through the compression motion, that is called as a links. So there are three types of link. So question may be asked in MCQ like this: dash 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 is rigid link. So options will be piston, chains, and hydraulic press, and D will be none of this. So what is the correct answer? That piston is the correct answer. So you should know the correct answer. Next. So this is again elaborating example, elaborating figure, so that you can understand the rigid link. Here this is the piston. Here again one piston, and this one is the push rod. Here this push rod is in contact with this plunger. When push rod is pushed, this plunger is pushed in this direction. So there is motion is transmitted to this, again to this, again to this, and whatever spring, here you are not going to consider any direct connection. How force is transmitted or motion is transmitted? Just by pressure inside the fluid, which is generated due to this plunger provided at the right side. So rigid link example, this part you can consider as a rigid link, and here it is called as a fluid link. So motion is transmitted with the help of the force generated due to the pressure applied on the plunger. Then there are three types of rigid link. So one is binary link, second one is ternary link, and fourth one is quaternary link. So link attached at two different points, that is called as a binary link. Then what is tertiary link? Ternary link, link attached at three different points. And what is quaternary link? Link attached at four different points. Just to see this example. So this is link. So just for understanding purpose I am showing. Afterwards we are going to see this kinematic chain. What is kinematic chain? This is the connecting rod. This is the link. It is connected at this point and at this point. So it is the first example, binary link attached at two different points. So this way there are three types of rigid links. Then let us see what is kinematic pair. What is kinematic pair? So when two links or elements are in contact with each other, then it is known as a pair. Then it is known as a pair. So, and if the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constrained, that is in definite direction, is known as kinematic pair. Is known as kinematic pair. So again, this is a pair. Forget about this sliding word at the start. This is the fixed block and this is a rectangular block. So this rectangular block, it can slide in this direction only. In this direction only. So if the relative motion if the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constrained, then it is called as a kinematic pair. Now here you can see this is fixed block with rectangular slot, and this one is the rectangular block. It is inserted inside of this fixed block. So this rectangular block, it can slide in this way. That means it is not going to rotate, it is only going to slide like this. So therefore it is called as kinematic pair. So that motion is completely constrained, then it is called as a kinematic pair. So this rectangular block is going to slide only. That means it is constrained to slide. So the motion is completely constrained. So it is called as a kinematic pair. Then second one, incompletely constrained. So not considered as kinematic pair. It is not considered as a kinematic pair. So you can have another example. Let us see this turning pair. And imagine that these collars, whatever collar, here it is collar, here it is collar. So it is turning pair. So this shaft, that is the crankshaft, it can rotate in this direction or in this direction, but it is not going to slide. Then it is also example of kinematic pair. Now suppose if this collar is removed, if this collar is removed, if this collar is removed, what will happen? It will rotate, as well as there is possibility of sliding of this crankshaft along this axis whenever these collars are not provided to hold shaft in a position, then it is unconstrained the motion. Now initially what you are observing, there is collar, therefore only shaft is going to rotate, there is no sliding motion. So if collars are removed, then the shaft is going to rotate and it also going to be slide either left or right direction, either left or right direction. So then it comes under this incompletely constrained motion. And what is last one? That is successfully constrained motion. That is called as a kinematic pair. Then there are three types of kinematic pairs based on the nature of relative motion. Am I audible? Ajay, am I audible? Hello, Ajay. Roll number 25. Roll number 25. Shubham, am I audible?
Audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So there are three types of kinematic pairs. So these pairs can be classified according to the three different considerations. What is first consideration? Nature of relative motion. Now here, this is fixed block, this one is rectangular block, and this rectangular block is going to slide inside this fixed block. Nature of relative motion. What type of motion is there? Sliding motion. So therefore, first type based on nature of relative motion, that is sliding pair. Then second type based on nature of relative motion, that is turning pair. This is the turning pair. This is bearing, schematic of the bearing. This is the shaft. It is going to rotate inside this inner race and shaft is going to rotate. So this is the second type, turning pair. Then third type with respect to this relative motion, that is rolling pair. Here this is outer race. In general it is denoted by the bearing, but this is outer race, this one is inner race, and these are the rolling elements. So inside this there will be shaft. Here you can see the same is shown here, but shaft is removed. So this pair we are going to call it as a rolling pair. So inner race is fixed, or inner race is going to rotate. If shaft is provided, shaft is going to rotate, and that rolling takes place between this inner race and the roller or the balls provided inside these two races. So this is example of rolling pair. Then Next, fourth type based on this relative motion, that is screw pair. Here this is screw or helical pair. This is bolt. Remember this. This is the bolt and the nut. So with the help of rotary motion, it can be screwed in this direction and unscrewed in this direction. Then next one, that is spherical pair. So this is the example of spherical pair. So the best example of this spherical pair, so you might have seen, so there is spherical pair for the mirrors. So whatever bikes are there, so that arm which we are going to turn, or the mirror which we are going to turn, that is employing this spherical pair. Then depending upon nature of contact between the links, so there are two types. First one lower pair and second one the higher pair. So based on how contact takes place, whether it is surface or area contact, whether it is line or point contact, based on that we are going to call it as the lower pair or the higher pair. So this is lower pair example. Surface or area contact. Just I will show that. Here this is the block or outer nut. On rotation of this inner threaded nut, this is going to slide in upward and downward direction. So this is number 1 and this one is the number 2. So there is surface or the area contact. Now higher pair, line or point contact. Then you can see this example. This is the example. Gears, small pinion and bigger one is wheel or the gear. So there is line contact between the teeth. Then it is called as a higher pair. And here there will be point contact. This one is the cam mounted on rotating shaft, and this one is the follower. As shaft is going to rotate, this follower will have to move in upward direction or downward direction based on the position of this lobe or the cam. So this is the example of higher pair. Then next type, depending upon nature of mechanical arrangement between the link. Closed and unclosed. So here one more thing, it is mentioned all lower pairs are closed. So just we'll see the example. This is closed pair, inner race and the outer race, and these are the rolling element along with the cage. So cage is used to put rolling element in place. Here what is unclosed pair? So you can See this. This is the cam. This one is the follower with knife edge follower and with roller follower. So this is unclosed pair. So closed pair, that means all lower pairs is this category, it covers under this closed pair. So again, for having more clarity, you can see the first type of kinematic pair based on nature of contact between the links. Again, sliding pair. This is example tailstock, and this is lathe bed. So it is going to slide. This tailstock is going to slide on the guide wheels. Then this is turning pair, a wheel mounted on one rod. So if you are going to turn this in this direction, it is going to have the rotation or the turning around this axis. Then rolling pair, then screw pair. This is again from the lathe machine, and the spherical pair. Okay. So this is about introduction, then kinematics, kinematic link or element, types of link, rigid link we have seen, then types of rigid links, kinematic pair, what is kinematic pair, then types of kinematic pair depending upon nature of relative motion, nature of contact between them, nature of mechanical arrangement, and these are the schematic representations, and these are the actual images of the links in the pairs. Then these are the examples based on the contacts between the links and nature of mechanical arrangement, how links in a pair are arranged with respect to each other. Okay. So thank you. So I request all the students to enter their roll number in chat box. Those who have not entered,